welcome to Jurassic World. Guys, now I apologize, the fan is a little high right now, but it's just hot back here. I'll turn it to 1 so y'all can hear me better. Hold on, let me put some over the filter. There, that should cover just a little bit. But I got a ton of videos to do, mainly discussion videos. Let me raise this up a little bit. You raise me up. Anyway, let me see. I can see the posters. There we go. But for this discussion video, I got a lot to do. And let's see. I got some Kong videos coming out, as well as MonsterVerse videos, which will be separate, I think. I'm not sure. I'm going to work that out. Okay, so I'm going to go on why toys suck nowadays. This was a video I've been meaning to do for the longest time. So, as y'all know, I've been pretty critical of the Jurassic World and the Kong Skull Island toy line. Very disappointing, especially compared to what we used to have. Like, look at this over here. You see that Thrasher Rex up there? The little zoomer Indominus is actually pretty cool, but everything else, it's just really sucked. Now, first I'll cover Jurassic World. Or actually, no, Kong first, then Jurassic World, because I got more for Jurassic World. As for the Kong videos, I really was hoping that Lanard would shine with their toys, but frankly, it was just so disappointing. You only have one Kong figure, and he is monstrous. He's bigger than the Thrasher, and he's actually, I would say, bigger than the, I think the 52-inch Godzilla figure that's out from Jakks Pacific. I do want that, though, because that's pretty cool. That would make sense, because it's a big Godzilla. Now, I would be okay with a big Kong figure if we maybe had something more playable. You're not going to have little 4-year-olds, which you're catering these to. I could barely hold this thing up. It was so heavy. Not even with one hand. I had to have my little sister hold it, because I couldn't hold it with one arm. These are, I mean, it's a heavy toy. Second, wait, where was I going with that? Oh, crap. Where was I going with that? Anyway, so, like, you look at these figures over here, and if you check out my previous videos of Kong, my Kong toys and all that, I got the V-Rex, I got the big Kong floated on, a littler V-Rex, Pteropus Mordax, and 2 other Kong figures. And they're playable. The big Kong is like the biggest figure, and it's very easy to play with. It has the sounds and all that. Really awesome toy. He's actually standing upright, even though the one in the movie is more hunched over. There really was no figures that had him hunched over. They're all making him stand up so he could fight. But they're at least playable. They're lifelike and they're awesome. Now, when you got these toys from Kong Skull Island, the smaller playable figures, I'd say the spider set, I think, and then the Pterodactylus, really it's the Leafwing set, are probably the best sets there. The Skullcrawler sucks so unbelievably bad. Okay, so you got the movie's Big Bad, which is the Skullcrawler, Ramarak, and Kong, and the little Skullcrawler you can't even play with. It's not even a McDonald's toy. It's a little plastic, little hinge. The legs don't move at all. There's hardly any creativity into this figure. Nothing. The Sam Jackson has more creativity than this Skullcrawler, and it's the big bad of the movie. And this is the problem I had with the Godzilla toy line. You had relatively good Godzilla toys that came out. Yeah, Bandai, NECA released their Godzilla, which is up there. That's my only Godzilla I have from NECA. I also have the Millennium, all that. And I really want to get the Shin Godzilla from NECA. But anyway, they didn't have the Mutos, except in one playset, and it's like a little plastic, like, checker piece is what it is. Now, when you have the Big Bad, okay, if I am watching a monster movie as a kid, and it is easier for me to get a Gigan figure from movies like almost 20 years ago than it is for me to get the villain creature of these new movies, that poses a problem for me. I mean, there's no investing into these new toys. Toys over the past 10 years have just died. They've gone. McDonald's toys used to be the bomb for me. if you remember the old dinosaur, Disney's dinosaur, those toys rocked. They were interconnectable. Some of them made sounds. They were lifelike, great models, and great toys. I loved playing with them as a kid. And they were free. And like the Finding Nemo toys, they had sounds and all that. They were a little more plasticky, but they were still playable. I mean, they were good toys back then. Now they're just crap. Just crap. But these Kong toys don't even rival with that. The Spider set is actually pretty good. It's got the bendable legs and all that. It's actually pretty lifelike. And the Pterodactyl set is, I would resemble it almost a ripoff of the Terrapus Mordax toy. It's a little bigger and more pterodactyl-like, except for the little horns and all of that. It's a relatively good figure, I would say, for, if you sold it as is, and if you had more toys, I would say, then yeah, it's a pretty good toy. But then you got Skullcrawler, which absolutely sucked. And though this is a problem I had with Jurassic World as well, and I'll get that in a minute. But then you have Kong, which is a toy you can barely hold up, and it's just hardly playable. I mean, at least invest in your toys. If you're gonna have a Mega Kong, at least make like a. You probably would have sold the crap out of some Mega Skullcrawlers with like a bendable tail, wrap it around the big Kong. That would have been the pinnacle of awesome toys. I would have at least made it smaller, because you can't really do that with licensing. But if I was a toy creator and I was smart enough, I would say let's make it smaller. Let's make it comparative. Since this movie, maybe in future movies we'll make the figure bigger if we do that. Make it size comparative to the Jakks Pacific 52-inch Godzilla toy. And that way we can have the smaller Skullcrawler. They'll be less expensive, and we will sell them out of like hotcakes. And the Kong figure, it doesn't have anything with it. It's just hinges. It moves, and there's no sounds or anything. That's another thing that disappoints me. I do like figures that make sounds for these types of movies. And then the final problem is just no smaller figures, no creative little figures people or kids mostly can just play with, like the Photodon figure. I used to play the crap out of my Photodon. It's still my favorite Kong toy from back in the day. Make a smaller Kong. Make a smaller Skullcrawler. That would have been really nice. The Spider and the Pterodactylus are okay. I maybe would have made a more detailed Leaf Wing. Pterodactyl, same thing. I would have done, I don't know about the oxen, but that would have been an interesting thing. I would have designed creatures from the proposed art. That would have been interesting. Oh man, sensitive. And am I thinking of any other? The Spore Mantis would have been cool. There wasn't really too many other creatures in the movie. I think that just about covers. I would have made some human figures, some realistic human figures. You could have sold like a 10 character line of that, 8 at the lowest, maybe. You could have had Marlowe, Hiddleston, Larson, Sam Jackson, darn it, what's Corey Hawkins' character? You could have had John Goodman's character, Rhonda, that one and 2 soldiers. You could have sold the crap out of that. Maybe one scientist guy, and then one soldier guy. And you could have done really good if you made, all that, or at least made a deal with like NECA to get some stuff out. And that's another video I'm going to do in the future, and why NECA on future figures NECA should get into. That'll include Alien, Predator, Kong, Godzilla, and all that. But I think I've covered just about everything wrong with the Kong figures. Let's get on to just get on with Jurassic World for now. Frankly, I don't think they're going to continue to lie like the Growler, Carnoraptor, and all that. I don't think it's going to happen. I think they've already lost the license now. I think it's either next month or the month after that they officially lose it. So that's why we haven't had the finished line yet, which will be disappointing because I really was looking forward to the Growler, Carnoraptor, but everything else, I'm just glad that Hasbro cannot control that brand anymore. Because, of course, the biggest problem with that was just stupidity. Make playable toys. Don't make, you know, McDonald's-esque toys. You got the Raptors over here. You got you know, those ones over there. If you see them over there, the Delta, Charlie, and Echo. I don't have the blue, but they're hard. They're actually the most playable toys I have, though. The Mosasaur and the Indominus are pretty playable, though. They're okay, but frankly, they could have been much smarter. I've also got the Dilophosaurus, Ceratosaurus, and the Growler Blue, which the Ceratosaurus is actually kind of a cool figure. I don't have much to complain about that. It's probably my favorite toy so far. But, you know, the Raptor Blue and the Dilophosaurus could have been much better, I think. But that's the thing. And there was no investing into any kinds of cool figures. Like, I would have loved... We don't really have a lot of herbivore, you know, we got some herbivore figures, but it's mostly carnivores that they kind of invest into. I would have loved to have had a giant, like, 30-inch Apatosaurus. You know, you connect a tail or something with the head. They made sounds. Purple, realistic skin. That would have been amazing. Maybe add a gyrosphere in there or something like that as a playset. Maybe disperse some figures throughout different figures, like having a realistic looking Tyrannosaurus and not the chomping T-Rex, which is a piece of crap, or the Stomp and Strike. Horrible toys. Have like an actual Thrasher kind of esque T-Rex Rexy, and then you can have different characters with that. I mean, invest in some realistic dinosaurs and stuff. All these hybrids. I was about to say something bad there, but have, you know, Ankylosaurus, have Stegosaurus back. You know, rebrand the dinosaurs themselves. Bring back some really cool dinosaurs. We could have had a huge Mosasaur figure. That would have been really cool. A really cool big Indominus figure and not the bad boy. That stupid bad boy. I'm sorry to any who liked the bad boy, but from day one I never liked it. I thought it did not do any justice to the Indominus in the movie. I think the Gyrosphere set does more justice to the dinosaur than the bad boy. You know, and you can even... It's not that difficult to make the mold from the T-Rex into the Indominus, I wouldn't think. Make actual, authentic raptors to what they look like. That was my biggest problem. We could have had a really cool, say, different sets from different biomes throughout the park, like a pterosaur set. You would have to sell them individually and then have, like, outrageous size differences. And keep the hybrid stuff to, you know, a minimum. But, maybe even throw in some dinosaurs we didn't get to see, like Baryonyx or Suchomimus or Edmontosaurus. That would have been really cool. What am I trying to think of? Invest in some human figures. I mean, seriously. I hope that, man, not Mezco. Why do I always forget the company that now owns the rights? But I really hope that they will take it from the fans and create what kids and the fans want. More realistic toys, more esque to the original Jurassic Park and the Lost World lines. I think, you know, Jurassic Park was good for its time. The Red Rex is one of the best dinosaur figures ever. But I think that the Lost World toy line is probably the best, I would think. I mean, they're pretty almost even, but the Lost World came out with a lot more and a lot more well detailed. And then, of course, we had that slip off with Jurassic Park 3. Personally, I think I'm not going to do that. I'm trying to think. I think I'll cover Jurassic World now. All that. And now I think I'll get on to the DC... DC toys. And there's only one problem I have. And that is these stupid multiverse toys. Now, I do like multiverse to an extent, but frankly, when you gotta buy all these figures just to build one, it gets really annoying. And frankly, in BVS, why did we not get a Doomsday toy? Why? That's the main villain. I'm gonna be mad if they don't make an Ares toy. I mean, you are catering more to girls, but come on. I mean, Moana has how many Maui toys? So, and you can't give the big bads their own toys? I mean, an Ares with like an axe or a sword or something like that. And I know he looks like he's gonna be awesome. He's mostly a silhouette everywhere you see him, but I hope he's awesome. And then Doomsday, there's no excuse. Doomsday is one of the biggest DC characters, DC villains. He killed Superman. It was way better in the comics, but he killed Superman in the movie. I mean, come on. Give him... You can even make it a stupid plastic toy. Removable hand with like a spiked hand. Roaring... a roaring mechanism. Spikes. Realistic. You could have made him as big as you want. But no, the only Doomsday toy we got was more the comics version. And he is, of course, the multiverse toy line. And you gotta buy all the different characters to get him. And that, there's just no excuse that we are not getting really enough toys in the DC lines. That's what I got to say about that. I'm trying to think of anything else, because I think, you know, I hate rambling on, but that's that. I can't really think of any other toy lines that have just really ticked me off lately. I will be doing a video about NECA, but it's not a rant or anything, because I am actually a really big fan of NECA. I have several NECA figures now. I got Clan Leader, Deluxe City Hunter, Serpent Hunter, Gorilla, Alien, and the NECA 2014 Godzilla. And hopefully, soon I want to add the Shin Godzilla. And in September when they come out, I want to get all of the Deluxe Dark Horse crossover toys. The Joker Alien Hybrid versus Batman, Batman versus Predator, and Superman versus Alien Warrior. I cannot wait for those figures to come out. And in the future, I really would like to get Ripley and the Newt set. That looks like it'd be really cool just to have in the collection. But I don't think I'm going to be doing any more Predators except for the Batman vs. Predator set. You know, Ahab though, they just announced that they will be doing an Ultimate Ahab, and that has actually piqued my interest. Then the Chief Predator from AVP really interested me. It looked really cool. And then the only other figure that has got me is the Jungle Demon, and that's when it's camouflage and all that. That has got my interest, as well as one more, which I don't think is on the top of my list anymore. Oh, look at that. Holy crap, he's huge. You can see my catfish down there. He was just all the way out. And he's engorged himself on this meat. You can see him coming out. Barely. You can kind of see him coming out and eating. Oh, I wish I had the video closer. Hold on, I might try to do this. Hold on. You may or may not see him in there, but I'll try and get it in there as close as I can. Wherever it is. You might be able to see him in there. It's kind of dark, but that's the Electric Catfish DJ in there. He's pretty cool. He's been eating some meat I've got in there. But frankly, I can't think of anything else I want to talk about with toys. I just want to talk about the main things that have been irritating me so bad with toys nowadays. They can't compete with the toys from back in the day. And I wish... I'm really tired right now, but I want to bring up some old toys that could compete, like Jurassic Park toy line from the 1990s are better than today's toys. And we have better voice boxes, better joints, better everything compared to back then. And those toys still outrank what we got today. It's like kids today are never going to know what truly good toys are. Like Kong 2005, probably the last, I would say, last great line of toys that anyone has ever made. Because, see, what was it? It wasn't Jack Pacific that did Kong toys, was it? I forget. What company was it that did them? But you get what I mean. And I think I'm done with my little rant. I don't have any other toy brands I buy or am interested in to kind of rant on about. I think Marvel covers their lines pretty well. DC, I only had the problem with them not making enough. Jurassic World is quality, and then Kong is quality. And I hope they will fix this for future MonsterVerse movies. I really hope, though, that we'll get toys for the Dark Universe with, Frankenstein and Mummy and Creature from Black Lagoon. I really hope that maybe NECA will get the rights to that. That would be really cool if NECA, released for every new movie that comes out, new figures every year. Like that one new figure for the movie. That'd be really cool, because next month we actually have Alien Covenant figures coming out. The Creature Pack, the Neomorph, and the Protomorph. And I will be getting on to my Alien Covenant review next, so be sure to check that out. Anyway guys, thanks for watching. Stay tuned for more videos. Hope y'all enjoy this little rant. Sorry. I got a little stutter. My gums are still numb from going to the dentist. Check out these pearly whites. And this tiny tooth. But anyway guys, thanks for watching. Stay tuned for more videos. Oh look. He's kind of out right now. You gonna eat anything? He's such a cool catfish, and he's engorged himself though. What's up with you, buddy? You got some snot on your nose? Oh, look at my turtle. Anyway guys, thanks for watching. Stay tuned for more videos. Also, let me find it. Yes. Let's hit that 400 subscriber mark. Man, I'm hurting right now, guys.